What if that plain $1 coin in your change jar was secretly worth $50,000, $100,000, or even more? In this video, we uncover the top 3 ultra-rare Susan B. Anthony dollars that have sold for life-changing money. Watch until the end, you might be holding one right now. It's the 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollar. And some rare versions of this coin are worth thousands of dollars, even up to $15,000 or more in the right condition. Sounds crazy, right? But it's real. So don't go anywhere, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for. In 1979, the U.S. Mint released the Susan B. Anthony dollar to honor a strong and brave woman who fought for women's rights. This was the first time a real woman, not just Lady Liberty, was put on a U.S. coin. The government made these coins at 3 different mints: Philadelphia, P, Denver, D, and San Francisco, S. The S stands for San Francisco, and that's the one we're talking about today, the 1979 S dollar. Now, most coins made at the San Francisco Mint are proof coins. Proofs are special coins made just for collectors. They're shiny, polished, and have very sharp details. The Mint makes them using special machines, and they usually come in sets. But here's the exciting part. Not all 1979 S coins are the same. In fact, there are 2 different types of 1979 S proof dollars, and one of them is much more rare and much more valuable. These 2 types are called Type 1 and Type 2. The difference is in the S mint mark, that tiny letter near the date on the coin. On Type 1, the S is kind of blobby, it looks thick and not very clear. On Type 2, the S is sharper, clearer, and more like a clean S. Type 2 coins are much rarer. Only a small number were made by mistake when the mint used a different punch for the S. So why does that matter? Because collectors love rare things. And the 1979 S Type 2 proof dollar is worth hundreds to thousands of dollars, depending on its grade. A regular 1979 S Type 1 proof dollar might sell for $5 to $15, but a Type 2 in perfect shape can sell for $500, $1,000, $2,500, or even more. Some have sold at auction for over $15,000. Let's talk about grading for a second. Coin grade means the condition of the coin. Proof coins are usually graded from PR 60 up to PR 70. The higher the number, the better the condition. A PR 70 Deep Cameo, DCAM, is the best grade you can get. It means the coin is perfect, with a deep, mirror-like shine. These are the coins that bring in the big bucks. So how do you tell if your 1979 S Susan B. Anthony dollar is Type 1 or Type 2? You don't need any special tools, just a good eye or a magnifying glass. Look closely at the S mint mark. If it looks thick or fuzzy, it's probably Type 1. If it looks sharp, clean, and curved with smooth edges, then you may have the rare Type 2. You can also compare it with pictures online or take it to a coin shop for help. Here's another twist: not all 1979 S coins are proof coins. Some were made for regular circulation too, and those are called business strikes. These were made for use in daily life, like in vending machines or cash registers. A 1979 S business strike usually has a less shiny surface. These coins are common, but if they are in perfect uncirculated condition, MS 67 or higher, they can be worth $20 to $100 or more, just because of the high grade. But the real star is still the Type 2 proof. Not many people know about it, and many collectors are still trying to find one. Imagine having a coin in your collection that's worth thousands and not even knowing it. That's why it's so important to check your coins carefully. You never know what you might find. Another thing collectors love is what's called an error coin. These are coins with mistakes like double strikes, off-center images, missing features, or wrong mint marks. A few 1979 S dollars with errors have been found, and if you find one, it could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on the type of error and how rare it is. Even though the Susan B. Anthony dollar didn't get much love when it first came out, it's become a favorite for collectors. And the rare 1979's versions, especially the Type 2 proof, are now some of the most valuable modern coins out there. People who used to ignore them are now searching for them. Coin shops, online sellers, and collectors are all paying big money for the best examples. And here's the best part: you don't need to be a pro to find one. All you need is a few minutes, a good eye, and maybe a magnifying glass. Look through your old coins. Check your proof sets from 1979. Ask your parents or grandparents if they have any old dollar coins lying around. That simple little coin could be a hidden treasure worth thousands. So next time you see a Susan B. Anthony dollar, especially a 1979's, don't ignore it. Take a closer look. You might just be holding a rare Type 2 proof or a high-grade beauty that could bring you real money. Imagine turning a $1 coin into $5,000, $10,000, or even $15,000. That's the kind of surprise we all dream about. Yes, I'm talking about the 1979 Susan B. Anthony $1 coin, and today, you're going to find out why this coin has become one of the most exciting and valuable treasures in U.S. coin history. Stick with me until the end, because you might just learn how to spot a hidden gem in your own collection. So, let's start from the beginning. In 1979, the United States Mint made a brand new dollar coin. This coin featured a woman named Susan B. Anthony. She was a strong voice for women's rights and helped lead the movement for women to have the right to vote. This was a big moment in history because Susan B. Anthony was the first real woman, not a symbol like Lady Liberty, to appear on a U.S. coin. The coin was made to replace the old Eisenhower dollar, which was large and heavy. The new Anthony dollar was smaller, closer in size to a quarter, and made of a copper-nickel mix. It looked shiny like silver but wasn't made of real silver. That caused a lot of confusion. People often mistook it for a quarter, and it didn't become popular in everyday use. Still, the government made millions of them. Now, here's where things get exciting. While millions of 1979 Anthony dollars were made, some of them were very different from the rest. And these rare types are the ones collectors are hunting for and willing to pay big money to own. One of the rarest types is called the 1979 wide rim or near-date variety. On most 1979 coins, the numbers in the date, 1979, are far from the edge or rim. But on the wide rim version, the date is much closer to the rim. This might sound like a small detail, but in the coin world, small things can mean big money. So how much are we talking? A regular 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollar is usually only worth its face value, just $1. Even in nice condition, it might go for a couple of bucks. But a 1979 wide rim coin in great condition can be worth $500 to $2,500, depending on its grade. And it doesn't stop there. In some rare cases, these coins have been found in almost perfect condition, called MS-67 or MS-68 by grading companies. Those examples have sold for over $10,000. Just imagine finding one in a drawer or a coin jar, a small piece of metal that could pay your rent or even your car loan. But wait, it gets even better. There's also a super rare type called a proof coin, made specially for collectors. These coins are struck using a special process that makes them super shiny and detailed. Most proof coins have a clear S mint mark, for San Francisco, but if you happen to find a 1979 proof coin without a mint mark or with a strange error, you might be holding something incredibly rare. Some of these proof errors and deep cameo coins have sold for tens of thousands of dollars, depending on rarity and condition. So now you might be asking, how can I tell if I have one of these valuable coins? It's easier than you think, and you don't need expensive tools. First, grab a magnifying glass or just look really closely at your 1979 dollar coin. Check the date. If the numbers are very close to the edge, the rim of the coin, you might have a wide rim version. Compare it with a regular one online to be sure. If you think yours might be rare, it's a good idea to take it to a coin dealer or send it to a coin grading service like PCGS or NGC to get a professional opinion. Collectors care a lot about the grade, or condition, of the coin. A coin that's scratched, worn, or dirty will be worth less than one that looks brand new. That's why coins that have been kept safe, maybe in a collection or in storage, have the best chance of being valuable. But here's the coolest part: the value of these coins isn't going down anytime soon. In fact, coin collecting is getting more and more popular, and the demand for rare and historic coins is going up. That means the price of a rare 1979 P. Susan B. Anthony dollar could climb even higher in the future. Some experts believe that ultra-rare examples could one day sell for over $100,000 or more. That's life-changing money for a coin you might already own without even knowing it. Many people overlook Susan B. Anthony dollars. They might throw them in a drawer, use them in vending machines, or give them away as change. But now you know better. The next time you see one, take a close look. You might be holding on to something incredibly rare and valuable. And even if you don't find the rare kind right away, it's still fun to search. Every coin tells a story, and every search brings the chance of discovery. So don't forget the 1979 P. Susan B. Anthony dollar might just be one of the most exciting coins you can find in your change today. Look for the wide rim. Watch for proof errors. And if you do find one, hold on tight, because you could be looking at a coin worth hundreds or even hundreds of thousands of dollars. And remember, treasure hunting doesn't always mean digging through old maps or searching in the woods. Sometimes, it's as easy as checking your own pocket. Did you know a small dollar coin from 1979 with a tiny D on it might be worth a lot more than just $1? That's right, I'm talking about the 1979 D. Susan B. Anthony dollar. At first glance, it might look like just another coin, something you might use in a vending machine or leave in a drawer. But some rare versions of this coin are actually worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars today. And in this video, I'll show you exactly what to look for, because you might be holding a coin that could bring you a small fortune. So don't go anywhere. In 1979, the United States made a brand new $1 coin. This was a big deal because it was the first time a real woman, Susan B. Anthony, appeared on U.S. money. She was a strong leader who fought for women's rights and helped win the right to vote for women. The government wanted to honor her by putting her face on a coin. The coin was smaller than the old Eisenhower dollar and easier to carry, but it had a problem: it looked a lot like a quarter, and people got confused. So, the coin didn't get used much, but millions were still made. These coins were made at 3 places: Philadelphia, P, San Francisco, S, and Denver, D. If your coin has a little D mint mark just above Susan B. Anthony's shoulder, that means it came from Denver. And that's where things get interesting. Most 1979 D. Susan B. Anthony dollars are still only worth $1 today. Even in nice shape, many of them are only worth a couple of dollars to collectors. But not all of them are the same. Some rare types, perfect condition coins, and error coins can sell for much, much more. Let's talk first about condition. When collectors look at coins, they grade them, which means they check how clean, sharp, and new the coin looks. This grading scale goes from 1 to 70. A coin that looks brand new. Coin was smaller, lighter, and made with a copper-nickel mix that gave it a silver-like shine. On the front of the coin was a new face: Susan B. Anthony, a powerful figure in American history who fought for women's rights and helped lead the movement for women to gain the right to vote. This was the first time a real woman, not a symbolic figure like Lady Liberty, was featured on U.S. currency. It was a huge moment in history, and the mint was proud of it. But the public? Not so much. Many people didn't like the new coin. It was too close in size to the quarter, and people kept confusing the two. Because of that, the Susan B. Anthony dollar didn't catch on in everyday use. But collectors? Oh, they paid attention. Especially when rare versions started showing up. The 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollars were made at 3 U.S. mints. Philadelphia, P. Denver, D. San Francisco, S. The one we're talking about today is the 1979 D, made in Denver. You'll see a tiny D mint mark above Susan B. Anthony's shoulder, near the edge of the coin. Now here's the exciting part. While the majority of 1979 D coins are common and only worth face value just $1, some rare versions and ultra-high-grade coins can sell for big money. We're talking about coins that have sold for hundreds, thousands, and in some rare cases, have been valued at over $10,000 to $15,000. Let's break it down. First, let's talk about condition, or what collectors call the grade. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being a perfect coin, no scratches, no dings, nothing wrong at all. The higher the grade, the higher the value. Most coins you find in circulation have a lot of wear and tear. These coins usually grade around MS60 to MS63, and are worth maybe a few bucks at best. But coins that are in perfect or near perfect shape like MS67, MS68, or even MS69 are extremely rare. And rare means valuable. In fact, a 1979 D Susan B. Anthony dollar graded MS68 has sold at auction for over $3,000. That's right, a $1 coin that looks like every other coin, but because it was kept in perfect shape, sold for thousands. Only a handful of MS68 coins exist. Most never survived in such flawless condition. Now imagine if one day, a perfect MS69 or even MS70 1979 D dollar shows up. Experts believe that if a flawless MS70 example is discovered, it could be worth $50,000 to $100,000 or more. Did you know a small dollar coin from 1979 with a tiny D on it might be worth a lot more than just $1? That's right, I'm talking about the 1979 D Susan B. Anthony dollar. At first glance, it might look like just another coin, something you might use in a vending machine or leave in a drawer. But some rare versions of this coin are actually worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars today. And in this video, I'll show you exactly what to look for, because you might be holding a coin that could bring you a small fortune. So don't go anywhere. In 1979, the United States made a brand new $1 coin. This was a big deal because it was the first time a real woman, Susan B. Anthony, appeared on U.S. money. She was a strong leader who fought for women's rights and helped win the right to vote for women. The government wanted to honor her by putting her face on a coin. The coin was smaller than the old Eisenhower dollar and easier to carry, but it had a problem: it looked a lot like a quarter, and people got confused. So, the coin didn't get used much, but millions were still made. These coins were made at 3 places: Philadelphia, P, San Francisco, S, and Denver, D. If your coin has a little D mint mark just above Susan B. Anthony's shoulder, that means it came from Denver. And that's where things get interesting. Most 1979 D Susan B. Anthony dollars are still only worth $1 today. Even in nice shape, many of them are only worth a couple of dollars to collectors. But not all of them are the same.